Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot for September 2nd. Happy September. 2 months till the next election. Thank goodness you survived it. Let's just go with the fact that we've gotten this far, and most of us with our sanity intact. Okay, so I want to take a look at Joe and Kamala. Let's see how they're doing. What does September hold for them? What is their re-election or their election campaign looking like? And I don't think necessarily that re-election was a Freudian, or maybe it was a Freudian slip. Trump behaves as if he is not the incumbent. He behaves as if Biden is the incumbent and Trump is forever on the defense. And let's face it, that is not a position this man is used to being in. Certainly, he has lived his whole life being offensive on, going forward and push. And all of a sudden, he finds himself in a rather unique position of really having to respond as opposed to create the conversation. So, fascinating times. All right, so I want to take a look at how Biden and Harris are going to be doing. I think we'll look, we'll try to focus in on September, but we really will. Hopefully we'll get some information about from now until, the end of the first week of November, let's say. All right. Come on down. I have a question. Biden-Harris campaign. Do tell me, cards. What do I most need to know? What would you like all of my amazing viewers to know about Biden? Camilla. Election. There we go. Okay, so for right now, they really are aware of the fact that they still have a lot of work to do, and they're aware of the fact that, they're not in smooth waters yet. They are depending on the support of the American people to sort of make this thing come together and make the right decision so that the government can be reestablished, so that norms can at least go back to something that you recognize, so that some of the damage can be not only healed, but in some cases really almost like reimagined and recreated with better safeguards in place. They are more than aware that this election really does boil down to a judgment on Trump. And they recognize that there is a certain percentage of people who are going to vote for them, not necessarily because they like him or even want them in office, but just because they don't want Trump in office. And they're aware of that. And as September unfolds and moves into October, you're going to see some real clarity in the messaging. And you know what? This is the thing. It's not like the message has been gray or foggy or scattered from the get-go. But it feels like it's going to become a little bit more pointed. And you know what? This is the thing. They've got support coming from, like, not only sort of globally, like around the world, but more importantly, within the country. They have support coming from, like unlikely sources, or maybe likely sources, but unusual sources. You have, the Veterans Against Trump. You have Never Trumpers. You have the Lincoln Project. And there's a whole bunch more of them. You have, people coming out against Trump that are Republicans. And Biden and Kamala are going to actually reap significant benefit from those other groups or people's efforts, because they're keeping the pressure on Trump. And what that does is it allows the Biden-Harris campaign to, one, focus on kitchen table issues, get their message out, continue to amplify sort of the hope and the healing and, you know, the better souls of the nation and light versus dark, and let others take a more aggressive stance. And again, they're not going to be, you know, milquetoast, but they're definitely going to be able to stick to the issues while they have these other aspects that are really, really doing the work that really sets Trump off and antagonizes him. They realize, oh my goodness, so you can expect some more information coming out in September about Biden's plan to deal with the budget, to deal with the expenses, to try to get a handle on how he is going to be moving forward. I find it absolutely fascinating that so many people still think that Trump is better for the economy than Harris and Biden. So what you have here, right, is you have Trump, who, what, 5, 6 bankruptcies, you know, screwed, for lack of a better word, the middle class to give his rich friends more money. They have been artificially keeping the stock market floating along. But somehow that seems to be, people have more confidence in him than in Joe Biden, who was really responsible for getting the United States economy to recover in 2008, when, you know, between the election and when the inauguration, the market collapsed on the housing and the banking situation. It was Biden that really started that. You know, that was one of his jobs, was to get this country up and running again. And it's fascinating to me that that message is not getting out, but it definitely looks as if that message is going to start getting out. And more as he talks about recovery and the economy and making jobs and all of that thing, you're going to see even that aspect uptick in his favor. A lot of female energy going on around him, and that's a really good thing. And so this is interesting. The 5 of Wands here talks sort of about, it typically talks about a little bit of friction. You know, when I see this card, I always think about, you know, 2 kids in the back seat of the car who want to know, are we there yet? Are we there yet? That's what I always think of that when I see this card. But 5s are change. They're about things changing. And the changes are happening quickly. And so what that suggests is that the Biden-Harris ticket has momentum and is gaining momentum, and it's going to do what it needs to do to bring down Trump and to bring down the mess he's made of things. So anticipate coming in September a more pointed, if you will, attacks. But again, their attacks are going to be, you know, kitchen table issues, right? Jobs, the economy, healthcare. And they're going to bring him down not only on those issues, but of course, all of the issues connected to the economy. They're also going to have the money that they need. You know, they're going to be under attack, especially in September. There really is going to be some aggressive stuff coming at them, but they have not only the money in place because they've gotten fabulous, donations, but they seem to be getting some support. It's making me wonder if Bloomberg has really stepped up to the plate. We haven't heard anything about him, or I haven't in any case, but it feels as if they are going, even when they're in a defensive posture, they're going to have the resources to push back and push back hard. So if it looks like they're taking a hit here and there, don't freak out. It really is going to be okay. They've got the resources they need to bring back the balance, and they're going to have the information they need to start delving deeper into what has gone on. If I'm not mistaken, once they were the official nominees for the Democratic Party, they would have now started to get those daily security briefings that Trump doesn't pay attention to because it's the written word, and that's, a bit of a challenge for the guy. It doesn't come with pretty pictures. He's like confused. So they're going to be getting more information. They're going to have a deeper understanding of what's going on, and that prepares them better and better for, hitting the ground running kind of scenario. Their campaign is going to flourish in September. You're going to see some real strong ground being gained, and the real strength of the team itself, that amazing combination of wisdom and enthusiasm and optimism are really, really going to come together and solidify for them in ways that are even stronger than what you have seen to date. So you can look for some really good energy around them, and a lot of moving forward, and a lot of bright and hopeful messages coming from their campaign. But this is one of the things that you're going to see that's really interesting, is you're going to see, I want to say, a lot more aggressive behavior than is typical for Democrats across the board. There is really going to be a real push to ensure that their message is getting out, and that they're not sort of being viewed as, weak and non-responsive. There is a lot of worry that goes on behind this campaign, and part of it, I have to say, doesn't really feel like it is that much about losing as much as it feels that it is about, now they're getting even more information, and now they have a whole bunch more things to worry about than they realized. Hold on a second. Okay. I need to take a moment. I really do just need to take a moment. When I do these videos, I literally stop the house, okay? And for those of you who have been watching me for a while, you probably figured out we have a fairly busy house. There's, 4 female adults living in this house. And there are, 5 animals still rolling around. And I really just need to take a quick moment to thank my family, because they are so supportive of this, and they've gotten used to slinking around the edges to get their stuff done when I'm busy recording stuff. I love and adore them, and I thank them very much for their ongoing and continual support of my little retirement hobby. Okay, so as they're getting more information, as they're settling in and they're starting to dig down, and they're doing their own research into stuff, and let's not forget, they also are doing, Oppo research, right? The more they find out, honestly, the more worried they become, because there's a lot of stuff that is still secret, that's still hidden, tucked away, and there really is that sense of, oh My God, we knew it was bad, but even we didn't realize how bad it was. So there is concern, and that concern ramps up because now there's far more clarity about exactly how much danger the country is in if Trump wins. They're all about bringing justice. And, it's an interesting thing, right? Because between the two of them, Biden is the one that's more likely to kind of say, listen, let's just make him go away. And, we don't want to be seen as that country that sort of goes after whoever dared to run against us. Okay. But there really is going to be a very strong push, particularly from the states, individually, to mete out justice. And it's also going to, they understand that one of the things that their campaign has to do, and has to do effectively and quickly, is rebalance the scales of justice within the United States. So don't be surprised if you don't start hearing some about that, about, justice reform or choices or decisions. So there could be some information coming out this month about sort of their plan or their strategy for dealing with that. And of course, that also very strongly connects to, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and that, the police brutality, all of that stuff. There is forward movement that is going to be coming from that campaign in terms of platforms, interviews that they do, et cetera. There's going to be a pretty darn clear message about exactly what that's going to look like, because it really is time to release those who have been imprisoned by the system. And I don't only mean put in jail. I mean, who have not been able to succeed because of the system, who have been treated way more harshly than their white counterparts, people who have lost hope, people who can't see a way forward. That is who they are out to bring justice to, and they're going to move forward with a fair degree of confidence and clear ideas about how they want to go and what they want that to look like. The more outrageous Trump becomes in the month of September, the more fortunes are actually going to turn in their favor. And honestly, it kind of feels like, they've had really incredible good fortune. But even some of the people who did not want to change their minds, who still wanted to stick with Trump or were still prepared, to give him a shot, they're going to be winning over some of those people. So, can you look for white middle class to really swing harder to Trump, harder to Biden than is even expected? You might be getting some information about that in September in terms of their campaign and how they're doing. The thing is the more pressured Trump feels, the more under attack he feels, the more erratic he is going to become. And the more that happens, the more people are just going to say, oh my God, we have had enough. Can we not stabilize this country? Can we not bring this country back to someplace that we recognize when we get up in the morning, that we recognize when we turn on the news? And so the kind of the crazier one side gets, the more stable and secure and safe the other side gets. There is going to be here's my Trump card, right? There is going to be a real pushback against this sort of carnage message that is coming out of the Trump campaign. The cities will burn and et cetera, et cetera. And the campaign and those that support the campaign are going to get it together, and they're really going to start pushing that message of all these pictures you see, that's Trump's America. That's Trump's America. That's not what the Biden America was going to be. That is what Trump created. And those messages are going to have some impact. I mean, if you just think logically about the fact that he's trying to say this is what will happen, except he's taking video from what went on during his own presidency, what went on, honestly, in the last 6-8 months. So stability, happiness, a sense of calm, some wisdom, some brains running the White House. It's going to start to look even more attractive to people than it does right now as I'm doing this reading. Yeah. Rest assured that as things stand right now, the White House is going to be returned to that which it stands for, to its better angels. And that who was trying to steal and take what he could is going to not hold the White House, not going to have the White House to hold on to. Yeah. So the Biden-Harris message is going to continue to build steam. It's going to continue to make more and more sense to people who maybe were, not paying attention, or, just have grown so tired of what goes on with Trump that they really want to give them some serious consideration. That message is going to get stronger. They're going to find themselves in a pretty solid place. And the Senate is also going to become a really, really important message that they're talking about, because it's really, really clear now that if they don't get Mitch McConnell out of the Senate, and by extension, the Democrats take over the Senate, they recognize that they could end up in a place not unlike what happened with Obama, where he was just, stonewalled at every turn. And so there's going to be a really big push on winning the Senate and the House, all the down ballot races, and the communications and the messaging are going to get through. Okay, so it's an interesting sequence of cards. Don't panic. There is a lot of group work going on behind the scenes in terms of that campaign, and people are working really, really, really hard to bring an end to that person in the White House who is now being viewed as not well, and bring happiness and joy and illumination and a sense of safety and security and forward motion in place. So the groups that work with Biden are going to continue to build that momentum that is going to bring an end to Trump and to what's been going on there. And frankly, not only Trump, but by extension, a lot of the sycophants who were like right up Trump's backside, a lot of them are going to have an ending too. And then comes the happiness and the bright skies and the hope for the future. The Democrats have some really nice tricks up their sleeve, and they're planning, it looks like, some sort of an October surprise that could be interesting. Don't know what that's about yet. That just is starting to, come to me in pieces, but it definitely looks like they have some tricks up their sleeves in order to continue to push their message forward. And the happy result of that is it completely weakens and undermines Trump's message. Yeah, there's new beginnings coming. And the more things are found out, honestly, the more they're going to find on their plate that needs to be corrected in some ways. It really is going to be like they're going to have to be very clear and good with their communications going from this time sort of going forward, and really stay on message and let continue walking that path that's going to get them onto this road where the magician and the sun are sitting side by side, canceling out that which really doesn't serve the country. And it's interesting because we've got sort of these pages and wands showing up here, and it's reading to me almost like just new energy. Pages are considered very often young, but this just feels new and fresh. You're going to have someone in place who belongs in the seat of power. And there's Kamala Harris. This is my card for her. So she is going to, day by day by day, really, really help build up momentum. People who didn't know her very well are going to find they like her. People who didn't like her are maybe going to be a little bit more open to giving her another chance. And the thing is as September unfolds, the message is going to get stronger and stronger that there needs to be a change. There needs to be new ways of doing things and solving problems than the behavior that has gone on in the last 4 years. And she is going to be really active in doing that. I've heard somebody say, I don't know who it was, and it's not a new expression, that one of the jobs of the vice president is to really be a bulldog, and they're the ones who are supposed to go after, in this case, the incumbent. And certainly Pence doesn't seem to be even remotely capable of knowing how to figure that out, but trust me, he's in there with somebody who's got it figured out really well. The debate between the two vice presidential candidates is going to be entertaining. I don't know when those debates are coming up, actually. They're a good partnership. This is the thing about Kamala and Joe. They work well together, they sync well, and between the two of them, they sort of have that really nice combination of, listen, we're strong, we're clear-headed, we're empathetic, we understand your pain, we have plans. We have ways to make this work. We can fix this stuff. You know why? Because we have an amazing, amazing group of people that are already, being picked and vetted for the administration. They're coming in strong. And the more erratic Trump becomes, the stronger they get and the stronger their message gets. I actually don't see any significant issues going forward. I don't think that Trump is going to get that great big bump after his convention. I think he's going to go out on the trails and he's going to sound more unhinged and more erratic and more crazy. And that just creates that energy of, he's not telling us the truth. We don't want what Trump is offering. Everything is a secret. There's too much stuff that's being hidden that we don't know about and like and understand. It's really time to start new and fresh. And they're going to have, the Biden campaign is going to have the financial support, the support of talent, the people that surround them, and they are definitely moving forward in a really, really strong way. There's going to be loss. I don't think it's going to be theirs. But ultimately what you have is the country feeling as if there is a strong potential for the country to return to something that they recognize, and frankly to start fixing, start reimagining, start repurposing, creating movement forward that supports the kind of better souls of America, that supports inclusion and empathy and understanding, that understands that Black Lives Matter, that understands that immigration is important. That is where their message is taking them, and that's what's moving forward. Again, a really, really good partnership between the two of them. It's going to bring hope. And as the messages unfold, more and more people are going to get more and more excited about voting and getting them into office. And so this is really, really exciting. It absolutely looks like they are going to be able to have a very strong and powerful month in September. It looks like that's going to carry them into October and right to them winning the election. And, you know, I've said before that the Republicans are also going to lose the Senate. And so there's going to be really strong momentum to get things moving forward and to start the healing. Really to start the healing process. So look forward to a really erratic and irrational Donald Trump, and look forward to a rather calm and dignified Biden with plans, with strategies, and with answers. It's going to be an interesting month. Alrighty, hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here. Information on private readings below. I'm booking about the middle of September. And thank you ever again for all of your support, you know, the donations, the likes, the comments, the thumbs up. All of it is received with my deepest gratitude. Until next time, take care, be well, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.